Hi, I'm Lee and welcome to my channel, and this video is titled, What Happens When You See Narcissistic Rage? And if you have never been on the receiving end of narcissistic rage, it is completely scary. It is like a completely different entity takes over. It is like you literally see them change. The eyes go black. It's literally like you see a completely different entity take over the narcissist and you see them just change. It's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It is extremely scary to witness this. If you haven't, bless your little heart. And if you have, you know how just extremely scary that it can be. On one end, it is that. On the other flip side of that, it is like you are watching, and in my case, a grown man have a meltdown, a temper tantrum, like a 5-year-old child who just got their toy taken away. The stomping, like it's scary, but also it is completely laughable at the same time. But also scary nonetheless, because this is a narcissist, and in this case, a narcissistic sociopath, and you just don't know what's going to happen in a blackout narcissistic rage. And in this instance that I will be giving examples of what happens when you see narcissistic rage, the example that I will be referring to and giving points of, I did a video on it, the most recent video, Narcissist and Driving. And if you haven't seen that, just a little synopsis on how a narcissist is erratic, scary, and in my case, screaming at me in a car and kicked me out of a car on a busy highway because I wouldn't shut the F up if I wanted a ride. And of course, I was not screaming. I was not yelling. I was speaking like a normal adult. But again, this fits right here on what happens when you see narcissistic rage. So this is what happens when you see narcissistic rage. And I speak on this because I have experienced it. So you will see narcissistic rage. I mean, it could be a number of things, but this is just a small little bullet point. Whenever you challenge the narcissist, whenever you challenge them, and a challenge, it doesn't necessarily mean anything major. And honestly, in my opinion, anytime a narcissistic argument is involved, it's never anything major. It is always the smallest, most trivial things that just blow up. And in my opinion, I feel that it's always the smallest mundane things. Really anything is because a narcissist, they are combative. They are combative. They fight to win. They fight to the death. Everything is an argument. Everything is combative. Everything is to basically belittle you, because that's how a narcissist, well, feeds. Feeds, get off, to make someone feel bad, to belittle you, to make you feel bad, to hurt you, to see you in distress, to see you in anything to hurt you, gets them off. And in their narcissistic mind, anything with an argument, anything to where they have to be right all the time, it's in their delusional mind. They are right. They are right. They are right about everything. They could say, I say the sky is blue. They say the sky is purple, and they will fight me to the death that the sky is purple. So whenever you challenge the narcissist, in my case, the most recent, I challenged this narcissist because I didn't shut up and take the verbal abuse. I did not, in his words, shut the F up and take his verbal abuse. So because I have a little bit of self-worth, again, a little bit of self-esteem, you're not going to talk to me that way. And I'm speaking to him how I'm speaking now. I was not screaming. I was not yelling. I was not cursing. If anything, and it also bothers a narcissist when you are calm. That enrages them even more. Like, they love combativeness. They love to see you get angry. They love to anger you, hurt you. They need a reaction. They need attention, whether it's good, bad, just like a child. If you give a child any sort of reaction, whether it's scolding or loving, they just need it. So because I was calm and said, no, I'm sorry, you're not going to speak to me that way, I challenged the narcissist, because I am not going to sit here and take verbal abuse. So narcissistic rage started coming. The screaming, the leaning over the passenger seat in my face, pointing, screaming, trying to intimidate me to sit there and shut up. No, I don't think so. What happens when you see narcissistic rage? When they don't get their way. When they do not get their way, here it comes. It's getting louder and louder. No, sir, you're not going to speak to me that way. Shut the F up. Shut the F up. If you want to ride, you will shut the F up. I'm not going to I'm not going to let you speak to me that way. So you're not getting your way of me sitting here in silence while I take your verbal abuse. So in a narcissistic's mind, okay, well, I'm not getting my way, so I'm going to pitch a fit. I am going to get my way one way or another. I am going to verbally assault you. I'm going to intimidate you. I'm going to ridicule you. And if none of that works, then it comes to physical assault. It's happened. Didn't happen this time. It would have happened if I stayed and fought, which honestly, narcissists always say, I don't like drama. I don't like to fight. Really? Because you always start it. You never deflect. You want it. You thrive on drama. And so it starts to turn physical, and it would have turned physical if he said, get out of my car. You got it. You ain't got to tell me twice. No. But no, a narcissist wants you to fight because they want to be able to put their hands on you, physically push you, and say, you made me do this. If I wouldn't have physically assaulted you if you just would have did what I said. Even though I was speaking complete and utter nonsense and verbally assaulting you, it's your fault that I did this to you. And honey, that creates trauma bonds. Ooh. So, what happens when you see narcissistic rage? Challenging the narcissist. They don't get their way. Disagree. Oh, honey, no, they do not like it when you disagree with them. Why? They are right about everything. Anything that you say is wrong. They will fight you, and they love to fight you. And, you know, it got a lot towards the end where, you know what? You're right. Whatever you say, you're right. I don't have it in me to argue. And for what? What's the point of arguing? I'm never right. Never. In your eyes, I am never right. So what's the point of arguing? Just to argue. That feeds your soul to argue. It does nothing for my soul. It doesn't feed me. So therefore, no, I don't care to engage in that. Lash out, loud insult. That is what happens in a narcissistic rage. They will lash out at you. They are loud because they want to intimidate you, and they insult you because they will do anything that they can to get their way about anything. Criticize you. Yes, they love to criticize, and they criticize you because, well, they can't really criticize themselves. And really, a narcissist, they are insecure, and so they lash out. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but Typically, in my opinion, that's what they do. And then when none of that works, they freeze you out / call you crazy. And the multiple times within these 7 years that I was involved with this narcissist, oh, that was his go-to move. He didn't get his way about anything. A way to bully me into getting whatever he wants. Freeze me out. And you think that you're hurting me? You might have hurt me in the past with that, but freezing you out, it's actually a blessing now, whereas before it was heart-wrenching. Oh, you're freezing me out? Oh, please talk to me. No. So they freeze you out as a form of manipulation and control, because they froze you out. So it's up to them to figure out when they're going to reach out to you. Like, they're doing you a favor by reaching out to you. And then also calling you crazy because you're not going to put up with the abuse, with the verbal assaults. And so you see narcissistic rage when you challenge, they don't get their way, you disagree, criticize, I mean, really, and the list goes on. This is just a few little bullet points here. But anytime that you see narcissistic rage, it never gets better. I know that you want to hold out hope that it always gets better, but it never does. I mean, never say never, but I'll say 0.0001% that it does. And anytime that you are involved in narcissistic rage, they want to argue. They want to be combative. The best thing to do is walk away. That not only enrages a narcissist when you don't fight back, but also it can save your life. Because remember, at the end of the day, narcissistic rage. And what happens in narcissistic rage? Well, sometimes it doesn't end up well, because they go into a rage and their emotions take hold and they want to be right by any means necessary. So best thing to do, walk away. It will save your life. So thank you for watching. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you like this content, please consider subscribing. Thanks, guys. See ya.